Hello everyone, my name's the 13th Ender, and this is the first episode on my series on our server. I'm playing with Usual Pepper and Jim56, two of my friends. We're playing on a realm, and we have a weird glitch where we all share the same skin. Currently, I'm wearing Usual Pepper's skin. We hope to fix this in the future, so this doesn't make problems anymore, and so I can use my skin. I have to do a voiceover today because my audio didn't save on my recordings, so I hope you don't mind. I began my day collecting wood like every Minecrafter does, and I noticed the sun was starting to set, so I quickly finished up gathering my wood and proceeded to try to find some shelter or a place where I could stay the night. I collected flowers along the way because I really do like flowers and love to have them in my builds around my base. We are going to install a data pack later, single player sleep, so we don't all have to sleep in a bed because that's a pain on a large server. And even one as small as this is, we kind of need that to help us through the night. I was going around the village trying to find a bed because I didn't have time to get stuff from sheep. And I found a bed that was unoccupied in this house and started to sleep. But one of us wasn't sleeping, so I quickly got back up and started being productive. I made a few, well, by a few I mean my entire inventory of wood was turned into planks. And I made a crafting table right after that, and made a few tools. I made a sword because I do like to hunt down mobs and get lots of their loot. I found a chest upstairs and took the food and emeralds. Emeralds would be useful for later for trade. If you look at my inventory, you can see that I have more than the wood I already collected. And that's because I was on the server earlier trying to help get the rest of the crew on as they were having difficulty with that. So that's why I have a few more things than the wood that I already collected. I went to hunt mobs because that's what I like to do at night. I find it more productive than sleeping. The creeper blew up the zombie that I was hitting, and I hoped for it to drop its head, but I believe that only works with charged creepers, so I'll have to do that in the future. I also like mob hunting to get XP, and it's also a good way to just do things. I started taking all the wheat from the village because it's a good source of food. I decided not to replant it because reasons, and I didn't want to. I didn't harvest the beetroot because no one likes beetroot. It's only good for beetroot stew, and that doesn't really do much for you. It just takes up inventory space. Got carrots because you can sell those to villagers later. Make emeralds, and emeralds are better for beacons because they're easier to get using trading. I gathered a pile of wheat, not the rest of it, so I could make some more food. I killed a spider because I do like string, and decided I'd make a fishing rod later instead of a bow because you can get better loot from a fishing rod than you can from a bow. And for bows, you also have to have arrows, which I didn't have this early on. I decided I'd keep going around through the night doing different things, and I saw a skeleton in full golden armor, which this would be good for later, and looking at my low health, I quickly swam away to regain some health before I helped Pepper take him down and get some leggings, which, even if they're gold, they are better than having nothing, so I put them on. I went around and got some more wheat because I knew crops would take a while to grow. Had some trouble getting on the island, but eventually I did, and got all the wheat from it. If you see on the screen my little finger bubble, I don't know what it's really called, that's because I'm playing on Bedrock Edition. I might change it into the future to have the little crosshair in the middle, but for now I'm playing like this because it's more natural to me. I might change it in the future if I decide I need to, because it looks better, or if you guys want it to change. I saw some cows and decided not to kill them because I thought that I could breed them later to get more leather for an enchanting table. I saw lots of mobs around and decided I needed to get a little ways away from the village that I was previously in. And what I planned to do was to find a mountain to dig into and to build a strip mine and a temporary basin. I gathered some more flowers because, as I said before, I really like flowers and they always look nice in the builds that I usually make. I got some more food in my stomach because I was hungry, killed another spider, got its eye, was sneak attacked by another spider, and quickly ran away after killing a skeleton. At this point, I needed something better than a wooden sword, so I tried to find a good mountain to dig into and build in. I got more sugarcane so I could grow it later and make it into paper for the books and maps. I did find gold. I found a mountain and dug into it and found gold. No iron, just gold. That was bad, so I went around the village looking for an iron golem. As awful as it sounds, and as awful as it is, I needed iron. I am showing you the little hut that I built that I didn't show in recording because I thought it would be boring. And just walked around the village trying to find an iron golem that I could kill. I didn't find one, so I just got some. I went into a villager's house looking for chests to see if they would contain iron, looking also for a blacksmith. I found bookshelves but decided not to break them because I would not be able to make the same amount of books with them as I would by doing it differently. I killed a creeper and got gunpowder, and I could use that later for fireworks or to make TNT, and that's yet for me to decide. I found a ravine when I was trying to find caves because I wanted to go caving instead of using my strip mine, and found a lot of iron in it. I found a water source that I could jump into from the top of the ravine and fall down into, which would make getting in and out a whole lot easier. I jumped down and quickly tried to find a low iron that was on a low level. I found iron right next to some gold and quickly proceeded to pick it up with a broken pickaxe. I'm sorry, I meant to say that my pickaxe broke. I quickly made another stone pickaxe to mine out more of the iron so I could make an iron pickaxe to get the rest of the gold. I figured that gold would make a good resource to trade with, as you could make golden apples, golden carrots, glistening melons, etc., which would be good for early game trade, and probably not for later. I plan to keep most of these episodes relatively short, probably between the 10 and 20 minute range, as I have more things going on and recording an episode that would take up that long would be quite hard. I went back to my house and smelted up the remaining gold and iron. I had a villager in my bed, which I found surprising, and planned to make the strip mine that you can see now a little bit bigger, which is the strip mine where I found the gold and needed to go get iron to mine. I plan to make it bigger so that I can put stairs in and get up and down more quickly. I noticed that the villager had grown up and thought I could make this into a librarian to give me mending books for late game enchantments. I quickly grabbed some cobblestone to box him in. I didn't think this through, as I had to rearrange some furnaces and check that there was a light source in there so that a zombie wouldn't spawn. There was, even though I checked, and I had to mine up a furnace and mine another block so I could access my furnace. He did get out later, but I'm not going to show that because it was not quite relevant. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I plan to make more in the future. And to all, stay safe.